So earlier today I was on YouTube and I was browsing through some videos and I came across a series of videos by a gentleman who for nearly 3 years recorded his day-to-day work activities in a cubicle on time lapse. And you know, I was looking at those videos and reading what he wrote, and one of the things he wrote was he was looking for a new job. So he was a tier 1 support technician for a company. So he's sitting in a cubicle answering calls. When he doesn't have calls, he's bored, he's playing with his Mountain Dew bottle. You know, the thing that struck me is that's 3 years of his life he'll never get back. Time is your most valuable asset. When I started looking at his channel, there's so many other things he enjoys doing, skiing and being outdoors, and yet here he is, trapped in this cubicle, and so trapped that he feels like he has to record time-lapse video for 3 years to show the dismal scenario that he's in. Well, so many people are stuck in that type of scenario. Yours may not be a cubicle, it may be an office, it may be a backhoe, it may be someplace that you absolutely don't enjoy going 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and yet you go there day after day after day because of the quote-unquote promise of security of a steady paycheck and maybe some benefits. And yet, at the same time, you're giving away all of your dreams and your goals and your hopes. You know, when I was a young boy, my dad used to fly small aircraft, and I remember going up in those small Cessnas and Pipers as a child. And then when I was about 9 years old, my dad quit flying. He decided to get so busy with his work that he just simply didn't have time to do the thing that he loved. Now, he always said he would go back to flying, but when he passed away 3 years ago at age 70, he'd never flown again. He'd given up his dream for the promise of a better tomorrow that would be given to him by a company, and in the end, that wasn't the case. His retirement ended up being nearly 40% less than he thought it would, and the dream that he had of a greater future was never the reality. The choice that every one of us have at some point is, are we going to continue to live our life trapped in a cubicle or an office, forsaking our dreams for the promise of a perceived security? Or at some point do we decide we're going to make our life count, that we want a legacy that says we went ahead and took the risks to do something great? Now, I'm not saying you need to quit your job today, but I am saying, why don't you start looking at an exit strategy? Why don't you start looking at ways you could change your circumstance? So one of the things I did here a few years ago, I was a pastor by profession, and I found that almost every church I pastored, I ended up really being under financial control, and it gave me difficulty in making decisions that I needed to make. I was always faced with the choice of, do I keep my income and my salary, or do I do what I really believe is the right thing to do here? And so it was at that point that I decided to do something different, to create my own exit strategy. I created my own business and have done that now for several years. That's allowed me the freedom to travel all over the world. I take 2 to 3 trips internationally at minimum every year. I've gotten to do mission work that I enjoy. I spend time with my family. I'm always available when my kids need something from me. I've got time for my wife. And those are the things that make life meaningful. In fact, I was telling my wife the other day, what I really love in life are the experiences. I could care less about things. I want the experiences, the memories, the ability to go and do new things, see new places, and travel with the people that I love. If you're tired of being trapped in your cubicle or your office, it's time to get an exit strategy. I've put a link below this video of one of the exit strategies that I've used and many others have used successfully. Take a look at that video and see if it's not a fit for you today. Talk to you again soon.